Rajinder Khalsa, Rajinder Fateh, Satnam. Welcome to another show of Conscious Living. It's the show where we have inspirational people every week, and today is no exception. You know the format, Sangatji. I always get our guests to introduce themselves. What's amazing about a particular guest this week is that we've been noticing a lot of people have been talking about how they can help themselves. This show is all about inspirational people teaching us things of how we can help ourselves. And you know, we have a big liking for yoga over here, so I asked a good friend of mine if she could come today. She's the director of Yogagenie, and her name's Miska. Miska, thank you so much for coming to the Seat
You're most
channel.
welcome, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, well, listen, it's always great to have knowledge from people, you know, which we can use to help ourselves, you know. Now, we were talking, Sangatji, we were talking just before we came on the show, and I always love to know how people got into yoga, you know. It's, you know, we always see the amazing part of people doing amazing yoga, but I always like to know, and now you own your own company.
Mm-hmm, that's right, Yogagenie in Belmont. And it's just a beautiful, serene community space where people can just come and practice and really chill, learn a thing or two, and just really be together and support each other.
Great.
So, yeah, Yogagenie was born not even a year ago.
Wow.
But 8 or 9 months ago, and it's slowly going strong.
That's really good.
Yeah.
What got in, you know, how did you get into yoga?
It was really just by accident, to be honest. I had really bad problems with my knee some years ago.
Okay.
To a point when I had to have a surgery. And I was referred to a knee surgery. Mm-hmm. And the prognosis wasn't that good, because I was told I may, you know, walk within 6 months, I may not. It would be quite invasive.
Oh, that serious?
And I thought, well, this is not really good enough, because I'm really too young yet to even consider that. So I thought, yeah, I've got a lot of pain, but I might find a way out of this somehow. And I just trusted that there is another way, and it's not a surgery. And so I just did my research, and I happened to find a studio down the road, which I never knew existed, and booked myself in for a couple of beginner course, and it just turned out that my pain wasn't there after 2 months.
And this was because of the yoga?
Because of the yoga. When I first went to the studio, I couldn't really walk properly. I could put no weight on the knee. At the end of the course, I was absolutely fine. I had no pain at all. And this was a really severe pain which prevented me from sleeping before, walking. I couldn't squat, I couldn't kneel. So real basic stuff I couldn't do.
The things we almost take for granted.
Yes.
You know, what's amazing, Sangatji, is that, you know, we talk about yoga and we see people do, you know, we sometimes think amazing headstands, but it's not that. It's being able to do the simple things in life and having those techniques, and that's why I personally feel it's so important, you know. You know what's really nice is, Miska, is that you're telling something, you know, very personal and deep from your heart of why you got into it. You know, it's, you know, and so I'm assuming even the people watching at home, you know, they might be thinking, oh, I couldn't do that, but, you know, there must be so many simple exercises.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is that everybody can do some sort of yoga, and the beautiful thing about yoga is that it's totally and 100% adaptable to everybody. So whether you are a 95-year-old person who is in a wheelchair, or you're a really fit young person, whatever it is that's going on, whether you've got an injury, or you're just really stiff, or you are feeling unwell, or you are in perfect health, there is a type of yoga and exercises and practices which you can do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, do you know what would be really nice? And I think it'd be really nice, you know, over the past couple of weeks we've been doing basic meditations and so forth. I think it'd be nice, even for our viewers, now this is entirely up to you, okay, but it'd be really nice for our viewers to see some basic exercises, if that's fine with yourself.
Absolutely.
You know. Even, look, if you're sitting on the chair, exercises on the chair.
We can do exercises on the chair. We can try a few, and the viewers can join.
Yeah.
With us?
Should we just do some?
Let's do some.
Sangatji, please join us.
Let's move a bit.
Okay.
Right. So let's start with something very simple.
Okay.
With placing the feet hip width apart.
Okay.
taking the knees just above the ankles, and perhaps sit maybe a third way into the chair.
Okay.
And allow your belly to come in and lengthen the lower back, placing or anchoring the tailbone down, and relax your hands up on your thighs. Close your eyes so you can concentrate better.
Please close your eyes. Well, I suppose you can watch us, but yeah.
You can hear us?
You can hear us.
And just allow your breathing to slow down naturally. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Breathing is something that is so important in yoga, almost more important than the actual physical practice. It's primary. Just breathe in through the nose very slowly, allowing the air to come all the way to your belly. And perhaps you notice that your breathing is slowing down and becoming fuller. Relax your shoulders. And bring your awareness to the base of your skull, which is the place where your neck bones and your skull meet. And lift through there, chin slightly in. Inhale deeply through the nose. And as you exhale, turn your chin over the right shoulder. Inhaling back to center, keeping the spine tall. And as you exhale, turn your head to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, turn your head to the right, and try and go a tiny bit further if you can, comfortably. Inhaling center, chin in. Exhaling, turn your head to the left. Go a little further. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, turn your head to the right. And this time hold here, hold the stretch. Breathe in deeply into your neck. And almost surrender yourself to the far right so that you can feel your eyes, your face, your bones softening. Breathe in deeply. Shoulder blades and collarbones relaxing. And as you next inhale, carefully come back to center, lift through the crown of the head. Exhaling, turn your head to the left and hold. Breathing deeply, your awareness on your neck. And as you next inhale, very carefully come back to center and release. As you inhale, lift through the spine, and as you exhale, lower your right ear to your right shoulder. Relax your neck. As you next inhale, come back to center, lift through the spine, chin in. Exhaling your left ear to the left shoulder. Relax your neck. Shoulders low. Inhaling, come back up. Exhaling your right ear to the right shoulder, and hold here this time. And breathe deeply into your neck. Relax your chin. Allow your head to traction the neck so it gives your neck a good stretch. Breathing is full, free flowing. And as you next inhale, carefully lift the head back up, lift through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, release your left ear to the left shoulder, and keep breathing deeply as you hold here. Relaxing your neck as much as you can, and notice if on some level you're still holding tension in your neck. Just let it disappear. On your next inhale, carefully lift the head back to center. And as you exhale, release your chin towards your chest. Let go in your neck completely whilst your shoulders are straight back. Lift your hands, interlace your fingers, and place your hands against the back of the head, allowing the elbows to come towards each other as they give your neck a little more traction and a little more release without pulling. Breathing deeply into your neck. Release your arms down and carefully lift the head back up. Okay, so this was a very simple neck release exercise, which is very good for everybody that works at a computer, has a job sitting a lot because we unconsciously lift the shoulders, carry a lot of stress in the shoulders. So this is something very simple, and your upper trapezius muscle and the rhomboids and all the little muscles around the neck, tendons, can really get a release.
I can really actually feel it now, you know, and it's amazing because a lot of us, you know, most of us do tend to work in an office or on the PC, and we do tend to be like this actually. So, so I can actually really feel. I hope everybody joined us. We will be putting all this on the eatconscious.com website as well. So, you know, you'll be able to play this back again. But no, that's really, really good.
Do you know what's the most interesting thing about it? That just simply by keeping your awareness on the breathing, you're asking your brain to go into relaxation because you are practicing one-pointed concentration. Just like meditation on your breath, really concentrating. There is nothing else running around in your head if you have to concentrate on your breathing.
That is so true. You know what's really nice about this exercise as well is that it can be done anywhere. You know, even if you're at the office, you know, I think you could do this lunchtime or something. It's a very basic exercise where it hits all the stress points, doesn't it? Really? I mean, I could genuinely feel it, but at the same time relax as well.
Nice to decompresses all the vertebrae as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another point or on the body or the muscle group that gets really tense is the shoulder girdle, is the shoulders. Especially if like many trades in building, you have to be lifting heavy stuff over your head. Men usually have those types of
Well, I know
jobs.
a lot of the people watching, they are in the building trade as well, actually. So any particular...
Absolutely. For example, we can do releasing the shoulder exercise where you're lifting and lowering.
Okay.
You want to try it?
Do you know, yes, let's do it now. I was going to ask you a few questions, but yeah, that'd be nice now. Let's just get into it, Sangaji. Yes,
so
why not?
Come back to sit.
Okay.
Place your knees directly over your ankles.
Okay.
Or you could be sitting on a sofa as well here and relax completely. Release your hands by your side. Close your eyes. As you next inhale, raise both shoulders high towards your ears. Lift and squeeze, go really high. And as you exhale, release them back and down, allowing the shoulder blades to come towards each other. And then relax all the way down. Inhale and lift both shoulders high up. As you exhale, press them back. Begin to milk the shoulder blades towards each other as you're allowing the muscle to come down. And release. So this is something very simple. You can do it a few times. And also the muscles between the shoulder blades get a little release as well.
Yeah, you can actually feel that, can't you? Oh, that's really good. You must have loved it when you first started, because this must have been almost like a revelation. It's like, you know...
It was really funny because I went to try yoga because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
I was never into any Eastern philosophies or any philosophies at all. It wasn't my thing. And so I was there purely because I was in pain.
Sure.
And it's just opened up a huge world of amazing stuff for me. And I suppose, apart from the physical benefits and the physical perfect health that one can achieve, of course, combined with yoga and meditation also, is the strength it gives you. Literally can take you from a place of despair when you're at rock bottom and lift you up and shows you objectively what life is about. And you can see things clearly, really clearly, and in just unobstructed mind.
So
you can
it makes
really
you
see
stronger mentally, internally, because I think a lot of us think, okay, I mean, using yoga, for example, we sort of think from the physical point of view, but yeah, internally as well. You know, you must be building up your internal system.
It almost asks you to really look within you in such a way that you begin to appreciate yourself and really appreciate yourself and ask of life what you're worth and why you're here, and just ask for what you need. There is no wrong in asking for what you want, what you need.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone needs to get what they want. You just have to. We all have to survive. And there is things like shyness or not wanting to ask because of feeling shy or thinking not worth it. That just goes. So from feeling worthless, you can really go into a very healthy confidence where you can be not just an inspiration to other people, but you can feel really strong in yourself and can progress from there.
Well, I guess you have to indirectly inspire yourself first. And it's interesting you put that point of view, which I think is very valid, where you learn to talk to yourself. Because I think if you're doing, I think what's nice about the yoga side is that I think a lot of us, and I think a lot of the viewers as well, we're all used to exercise in some format, or we think, oh gosh, I've got to go to the gym or something. But sometimes it can make you disconnected, you know, if you're on the machines and so forth, and, you know, okay, you've got the Walkman on, or showing my age, Walkman, okay, but, you know, MP3s, okay. But with this side, you're exercising, but you're connecting with your internal being as well.
And that, I suppose, is the biggest difference between yoga and other forms of exercise, that you are not asked to push yourself beyond your limits. You always honor the place where you stay, where you are. So if one day you cannot stay on one leg, just maybe do something very simple, that's where you start, and you honor the place of where you are. And from there, if you can understand that it's okay where you are, you can really unfold, and it happens to you because you relax enough that you allow yourself for progress to come to your life. And so, of course, you have got to practice. Without practice, it's not going to happen.
Of course, yeah.
But when you do start practicing yoga, you know, majority of people love it so much that they carry on, you know, for the rest of their lives. And there are many, many teachers in the 80s and the 90s that are still teaching strong. So those really are the inspiration to us. Just goes to show that old age is just in our mind, because some of my senior clients, I shouldn't even call them seniors, because some of them are healthier than my other students. They are amazing.
Age, but doesn't,
they are amazing. The stuff they're doing now after coming to, you know, a few months of yoga classes.
It's interesting
really.
You say that. There's this one, we call it spinal flex, and basically it's the flexibility of the spine. And they say that that actually determines your age.
That's true.
The flexibility. So it's not necessarily the number of years, which I think we sometimes take as, you know, the thing, oh, you know, someone is in their 80s and 90s, they can't do this. But it's actually
the flexibility that determines.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the more flexible a bone or joint, obviously it can be over flexible, but if it's flexible, it is not prone to break it. If it's soft, it can take the impact. You fall, you will not break your hip, or you will not break your spine. It's ready for it.
You know, it's funny, and I remember this just off the top of my head, actually, but many years ago, when I was a teenager, so that was a long time ago. Anyway.
Well, not that long.
But anyway, I do remember one of my martial art teachers, he'd just come from America, and he said, look, you know, in 5, 10, 15 years' time, a lot of you probably won't be carrying on the martial arts. We all get busy, whatever. He said, but there's anything that you do to carry on in one aspect. You know, you won't be there doing katas, and just do one thing, just keep on stretching. He was also a scientist as well as a martial art teacher, and one of the students asked, but why? He said, look, in my particular family, a lot of the family members have actually died very young, and I wanted to break that trend. He looked as if he's in his mid-30s, but he's actually in his late 70s, and this was about 20, 30 years ago. And he said stretching and flexibility has been the main contributing factor, which I found fascinating, you know, as well. But I do feel nutrition, or what we eat as well, must make a difference.
Oh, it does. It does obviously make a difference on the outside, and you can almost know what people are eating by looking at them. So that physical side is very obvious. But it's amazing how profound effect what we eat can have on our brain.
Okay.
And in yoga, we have 3 words for those types of foods. For example, rajasic foods would be the foods that make your mind race. So obviously everything we put in is chemistry.
You are
and
what you
those
eat,
chemicals affect your hormones, they affect everything. So you become what you eat. And so, for example, if you eat too much sugar, or too much chocolate, or too much meat, those are the foods that would make your mind race. So that your mind almost becomes restless, and you keep, you know, having your mind really like on a loop. Almost sometimes you just find yourself being drawn into your thinking too much. You can't get out of it. But another extreme would be tamasic foods. Tamasic foods would be the foods that make you really sluggish or make your mind really lazy or make you sleepy, so your brain isn't working at its optimum level.
Okay.
And those could be the foods like baked potatoes, pizzas, things that make you really tired, and you can feel it when you have a slice of pizza. You feel, oh, it's enough. Now I want to just chill on the sofa.
Yeah.
So what we really want to do is to find foods which allow you to still remain agile, relaxed state, but healthy, agile state, where your brain is working at its optimum level.
Okay.
It's not tired, but it's not on override all the time. So those foods, we call them sattvic foods, are the balanced foods. And those are the foods that everyone says one should be eating, like vegetables, like fruit juices, excuse me, you know, tofu. Ideally, would be avoiding the meat and dairy products. So, you know, we all know what it is that we should be eating. Perhaps we just need to be told exactly what happens in the body and how it affects the body for people to make the change.
It's very interesting, actually. So, obviously, light foods. I think, you know what's nice is, I think in the last 10 to 15 years, I'm using that as an example, I think food, alternative, when I say alternative, like vegetarian type food, has really come into its own. Because I think before it was almost seen as, oh gosh, you know, vegetarian food, how bland and so, but it's really changed now.
We are lucky. I mean, it has changed, but also we still have to be careful about buying 20 processed foods, because you know, 20 years ago you couldn't find a vegan ready meal. Now you go there everywhere. Yeah. But those are still processed foods as well. So the best thing to do is really to make your own. Grow your own if you can. If you can't get organic. You know, there's been a lot of discussion about, is organic better? Of course it is. You're not putting pesticides into your body, which your body can't digest and process.
Yeah. I think sometimes what's amazing is that we assume, for example, we're having you know, vegetables which are good for us, but it's good to know where it's coming from as well. What's really interesting, Miska, is in the next couple of weeks we're having somebody come on, and he does biodynamic farming, and he'll be coming from France to talk about this very thing. You know, which is going off topic, but I think it's very related, because his thing is all, you know, in terms of the nutrition side. And you know, I saw this video where you put your hand in the dirt and there's loads of worms and everything, which I thought was so good, because he said the amount of worms tells you how good the soil is, and these are potatoes, whatever. But anyway, that's a couple of weeks, but I totally agree, you know, in terms of nutrition. So that means, for example, and I'm just using, you know, my brain cells here, so don't laugh, okay? So your lifestyle probably has changed so much since you come into yoga, you know?
Yes, I mean, my diet has changed before I came to yoga, because I was vegetarian for years.
Okay.
But once I came to yoga, it really made me understand why.
So it filled in the gaps.
Gave me the answers why I should be doing that.
Okay.
And with yoga comes nutrition, because one teaches yoga, one needs to know about nutrition and what it does to you. So it's very related. It's like Ayurveda and yoga are so closely. It's sister sciences. So nutrition is another one that comes really nicely and complements. So if someone is eating, you know, tamasic foods, pizzas, burgers, all that, and comes to yoga, then the progress or the transformation would be very, very slow.
Okay.
Because your cells are getting the workout, but are not getting the nutrition.
Okay.
So your cells need to be fed nutrition for them to work optimally. And so there is a great amount of superfoods out there now. Some of them, you know, I wouldn't go for, but some of them are.
You wonder sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, the amount of...
And it's really, the reason they are called superfoods is because they've got, in such a small amount
all the
for weight,
antioxidants.
They've got so much goodness that your cells need to be nourished. And you can feel it, even just having a handful of goji berries. You can feel really alive just having that. I actually
had some this morning, so no, but that is so true. But that must change you. And I'm talking, for example, you change as a person. You got your own business now as well, and as you know, within yoga, so that changed you. Were you working for a company before? Or?
Before, I did all sorts of things. I'm actually a qualified teacher.
Okay.
Which I didn't do for years, but I worked for NHS on the management side for primary care trust. And I did that for a few years, and, you know, it was a great job. It, you know, paid the bills and helped me set up my business. But, you know, I always found time as much as I could in my lunch break to do my meditation and do a bit of stretching and all that. And it definitely changed me. You become really strong through yoga to do what you want.
So you had that kind of focus. Okay, that's really good. Now, I do know that a lot of people watching that, you know, as you say, we've done some really good exercises. So I think, anything else you could suggest that, you know?
Absolutely. Since we are in the chairs, shall we do another chair one?
Well, why not, you know? And this is not the lazy yoga. This is a yoga, I think.
It's practical, right? We already sit in.
Yes. You know, you could be on the chair, you know, on a train. Could somebody do this on the train?
Of course.
They might get some funny looks.
Well, maybe they'll join.
Why not? Yeah. Okay.
Whole train doing yoga. And again, this one is perfect for everybody. If they can't do normal sun salutation on a mat, we'll be doing chair-based sun salutation.
Okay.
Suitable for wheelchair users,
Okay.
Seniors with limited mobility, or anyone who just wants to try it. Please join.
No, this is brilliant. And as I say, Sangaji, you know, as I say, we always say, for example, you know, if you have any particular exercise, always seek medical advice. But for those on a general basis, yeah, please feel free to join us. The whole idea of this show and having Miska here is to show us how simple exercise can really make such a big difference. So yes,
let's try.
Students over here. So
okay, this time you don't have to close your eyes.
Oh wow, okay.
But soften them. And again, just like before, just for proper alignment, bring your knees over your ankles,
Okay.
belly in, tailbone under, and perhaps you want to be sitting 1/3 off the chair.
Okay.
Breathing through the nose only, very deeply. Softening your ribs as you exhale, and take your hands to your heart space, just to ground yourself. Bring your awareness to the spine at your heart level. Take a deep inhale into your ribs, expand. Exhale, release. As you next inhale, begin to lift the arms over your head and look up. Expand your whole body up. On your next exhale, begin to take the energy down slowly, folding forward, lengthening the back, and then relax your whole body over your legs. Release your neck also. On your next inhale, begin to lift the gaze, and as you're coming up, get hold of your right knee and bring it to your chest. Relax your right hip, give it a squeeze. Exhaling, bring the leg down, traction the back forward slightly, and relax over your legs. Inhaling, lifting your gaze, coming up with a straight back, taking your left knee to your chest, give it a squeeze, relax your left hip, and exhaling, bring the leg down, traction your back forward, and release. Soften. Inhaling, coming up, leading with your forehead, taking your hands to your heart space, lifting above, expand as much as you can, open your ribs. Exhaling, take your hands to your heart and anchor yourself and release. It's just one round.
That's really good.
Just one round. It's very, very simple, but it already begins to move the energies.
It does, yes. I think the whole body, you know, it creates a movement. And you're not actually physically moving, you know?
You're not doing much.
Yeah.
So really everybody can do this.
Wow.
Really everybody can.
We will put all of this. Have you got, what we'll do, we'll put some links so you can see this properly. I think, you know, I think if the viewers see this a couple of times, they can really get into this. Yeah. Well, what benefits would you say this has?
Well, sun salutations have huge benefits. If you can only do one thing in yoga, or you haven't got time, or you're really busy, or you have only 5 to 7 minutes per day, do a few rounds of sun salutations.
Okay.
Especially first thing in the morning, and we'll show another one which you can do.
Is that why it's called sun salutation?
Sun salutation? Well, sun salutation really was practiced by yogis in ancient India, but also some Grecians were practicing them and Romans as well, but this is way back. So sun was considered to be this great life-giver, almost the god.
Yes.
And so it was to be appreciated. Every day, every new day, the sun was still there.
Salutation, oh, I just got it.
So you would wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, you do your salutes. And what it does, it stretches all the major muscle groups, really realigns everything, warms up the body, begins to work the digestion,
so this is best
calms the endocrine system.
Before breakfast or anything?
Before.
Okay,
Before you do anything else, because you can brush your teeth first thing in the morning.
Yes.
But before you eat, ideally, and doing anywhere between 2 and 12 rounds every day really makes a difference. And you may even just feel not just more energized, because obviously there is more prana, more life force in your body already. And for lungs, it's amazing for lungs.
I'm feeling it already, and I'm just sitting down.
You will feel different for the rest of the day. You will feel, you know that feeling when you were a kid and everything was so real, much more real than it seems to be now. It's almost like everything tasted better, everything smelled better. You were right in the moment. Everything was so much more real.
I think, yes.
That's what happens if you practice yoga, because you're much more in the moment. Everything becomes more, the sensations are much more there. You just much more there.
That's a very good point, actually, because I think we do get, our minds do go all over the place, sort of thing, and living in the moment. A lot of people do say, hey, you should live in the moment. And you go, okay.
How do I do this?
How do I do that? They don't have the answer to that, but they go, you should live in the moment. So this is a very good form of exercise.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, again, the difference between other exercise. Not that other exercise isn't great. Every exercise is good.
Of course, yes.
Absolutely. But doing sun salutation and yoga in general has got the added benefit of really concentrating and working on your mind as well. And it just gives you the moment. This is just me now, and I'm doing something good for myself, and I can feel it. Not trying to.
Yes, no, I know what you mean. 2012, and this is something I've been talking with the other guests as well.
Interesting year, right?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. You know, they go, 2012 is the year, you know, where there's a lot of change happening. You know, we were discussing numbers last week as well, you know, on 2000. You know, there's so much happening, and just in the general news as well. So it's a question I've been asking a lot of the guests, and I've got to ask this to you.
Go on.
What 2012? What does it mean to you? We're coming towards the end. We're mid-January now. You know.
2012. Generally, for everybody, or for myself?
Let's start with you.
For myself.
Just on a general, nothing. You know, just
well, I still have to put it in context with my students, because I live, you know, every day with my students as I teach. I think it's going to be an amazing year. It's already kicked off brilliant. So look, here we are. Right?
You're on Seek Channel. I mean, you know.
You know, managed to meet some amazing people in the last couple of weeks, and I just feel this amazing energy that's happening. And I don't know whether it's because obviously yoga is my way of life, and I'm meeting great people coming to my studio and just doing great stuff together and experiencing stuff together. But I think I'm planning a few interesting events this year where I'm really looking forward to share experiences with people, like I'm doing the yoga retreat in Turkey. And I'm really looking forward to spend quality time and just be in a circle of people and share the energy. And I think the more great people together, the more greatness can come out of it. Yeah,
I mean, we call it Sangha, where basically it's the sort of people you hang around with. They do say, you know what a person's like by their friends, you know, or colleagues, or, you know, in a sense, the people you interact with, because that does rub off on you, you know, sort of thing. And you just mentioned that you're doing a retreat as well. I mean, that's a great way. I mean, is it a yoga retreat? Or?
It is a yoga retreat. It's a yoga retreat in June, where I'm taking my students, but anyone can join, whoever wants to come. And it's just a brilliant week where, whether you are a yoga... Pardon?
Just get away from it all?
Absolutely. You just, the moment you come to our place, it's in Turkey. You have no responsibility other than to yourself.
Yes, I see what you mean.
And if you want to be just laying by the pool all week, then you're most welcome to do that, if that's what your body and your mind and your spirit needs. Otherwise, if you want to be a little more adventurous, you can join our yoga classes. We'll be doing workshops, yoga classes, meditation, a bit of drumming, going to swim, have great food cooked for us, a bit of dancing, fire, and all that. Just really be, rather than do all the time. Yeah. So just being and experiencing, getting in touch with who you really are, without having to worry about the family, the work, the money, and all that stuff.
I think that's what it exists, that stress as well. In terms
it's not that it's not going to be there when you come home. It's still going to be there, but perhaps you'll have a clear fresh perspective on it
Recharged.
to deal with.
And you get recharged, isn't it, in a sense?
Plus, it will make your yoga practice much stronger.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's June, eh? Okay. No, that's really good, actually. Miska, I think what's really nice, okay, is that I think it's that perception of what yoga is and moving forward in a small kind of way where everyone can join in. I think, you know, I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, what can I do? A lot of people have had back problems or back stress, shoulder sort of thing. I think the sun salutation can help in all of those.
Well, almost.
Okay.
Depending what it is that your back pain is. If it's a back pain caused by poor posture and muscle ache, then yes, it can. If it's something more sinister like a herniated disc, then you would have to have your salutation modified so it's suitable for you. But you just need to really speak to your yoga teacher or find a yoga teacher that can cater for your injury, because there are so many different types of yoga, so many different traditions, different ways of teaching and learning, and it all depends what can your teacher give you. And every teacher gives something else. Find the right person. If you don't like one teacher, go to another. Be really fussy because it's your practice that's going to benefit.
No, I like that. I think what's really good, Sangaji, is that today's show is really been about what we can do for ourselves. You know, there's so much out there where, you know, if you watch, like for example, if you watch the programs, it's all about, you know, get fit, and you got people who I frankly think, oh, they should go up in stages and they're running miles already, and you see them, they come down there, you think they're going to faint or whatever, and I kind of think that may not be
causing strain to your brain. You're making yourself more stressed.
Exactly. I totally feel that as well, and so I thought, you know, so much of the viewers, they're watching, and there is so much out there that we can do, and that's what this show has really been about. It's been trying to tell you and show you. And I really thank you for these small techniques.
You're welcome.
That you know, what's amazing is that you probably take this because you've been as granted. You know, so, oh, you know, even Iceland say, oh, people should know that, or they probably do know. But a lot of people don't. So these are simple techniques. You know, if for example, when's a good time to do this? By the way.
Any time of the day. I mean, if you're doing the sun salutation, then if you can do it first thing in the morning, it really sets you up and gets everything moving. And because it works all the systems, circulation, endocrine, lymph, everything is worked. But if you can only do it at lunchtime or even in the evening, it's still better than not doing it at all. And you can do it a few times a day. So
this is one question a lot of people come to me and they say, look, I need to lose weight. Okay. And obviously I don't have that problem.
Of course you haven't.
No, but you know, just generally, and is this a good exercise to do? Put
it this way, there are many different types of sun salutation, and yoga has had this very strange rep, I don't know why, that it's not good for weight loss. Yoga is amazing for weight loss, especially if you engage in a little bit more vigorous type of yoga, such as Vinyasa flow, which I teach my students, or Ashtanga, or power yoga of any sort. Which really works your body, like obviously in a different way than training as an athlete. I just want to draw a similarity there though, that even athletes, when they train, they also get into the zone. And so for us it may look like they're really sweating, they're working hard, but for them, when they get to the clay zone, it's like meditation for us.
Oh, I can imagine, yes.
So also very physical types of yoga, very good for that. Because the more you work hard, the more you have to breathe, the more you have to concentrate, the more you're working out as well. So whether you're doing a very slow or therapeutic type of yoga in chair or really going for it on the mat, it really makes no difference.
Could you give us an example?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
You want to see a salutation?
Do you know, if you don't mind, that's good. Yeah. And with the powers of TV, we just happen to have a mat here.
We do.
Yes.
Okay, so at home you would need a yoga mat, and you would do this ideally barefoot. Okay. And you would stand at the top of the mat, and this is just a very, very simple sun salutation for those people who don't want to be in a chair and prefer a little bit more physical exercise. And it's suitable for beginners. Beginners can do this, right? So if you are at home and you happen to have a yoga mat at home as well, you can try this.
Please do join us. As I say, we've got Miska here showing us sun salutation. We did it earlier on the chair, and this is in its full, the next more advanced stage. So, yeah.
Okay. So if you're doing it with me, I'm going to give you a little instruction as well.
I would normally join Miska, but we've got one mat here, Sangachi. So
you sure you can't squeeze?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So let me just show you what it looks like, and then you can download it, right?
Absolutely. We'll put it on the itconscious.com website. So.
This is what sun salutation looks like, just a very simple, basic one.
It's almost like a cobra pose there.
Almost. And the more you practice it, it will become a cobra pose at the end. So you can see going up and down, the circulation really is working. Your heart is really working now.
Can you imagine
so this is just one side. You do exactly the same on the left.
Yeah.
This is a very simple salutation. If you've never done yoga before, this is to start with.
I was about to say, because when you're doing it, it's almost like a press up there, wasn't it?
Almost. And then when you are going into the next stage,
Yes.
if you want to go to the next stage and do Ashtanga based on salutations,
Yes.
then your arms really get to work, and you are putting different elements into it. Would you want to see one?
Oh, yeah,
time?
absolutely. You know, and if you could just explain what's happening, because as I say, it looked very smooth, flowing, but there was a lot of exercise, I think, which I think initially someone does it, but you may feel, hey, this is a bit hard, but I think it's a really good, you just make it look easy. You know, but, yeah.
Well, you would be learning them slowly and then put them together.
Okay. Okay, so feet together.
Feet together or hip width apart.
All right.
Everyone's got different bones, different body structures.
Okay, so that's not set in stone.
Not set in stone. You can have them wide apart.
Okay.
Or you can have them together. So whatever works for you.
Okay.
And so you come to the top of the mat and anchor yourself. So you can really feel the floor underneath you, bare feet at home. And perhaps lift the toes off the floor, spread them wide and press them back in. Inner arches lifting. Begin to lift the spine, and you can take your hands over your tummy and your lower back and begin to bring the belly in to support your spine as you decompress the lower back, anchoring the tailbone down. On your next inhale, raising the shoulders high towards your ears. Keep the length in the neck as you relax the hands down. Arms soft, become receptive at your palms. Lifting from the base of the skull, chin slightly in. This is the mountain pose. Basic standing pose in yoga, which is great for people who have got trouble with their posture, but also for mild depression. It really opens up your heart space. So you know when someone is standing straight, they're in a good place. If they're hunching, you know they are not in a good place. So something so simple.
So just back like this, and they call that what, mountain pose?
Mountain
I suppose
pose.
Almost like I'm standing strong.
And you have a right to stand here on earth, and it's your place. So it's got many different profound effects. And that's the first standing pose. And then many, many variations. We'll just take the simple one I've just done, break it down. As you next inhale, begin to lift the arms overhead. As you relax the shoulder blades down, opening your heart. A lot of opening going on in the heart. On your next exhale, begin to fold forward, taking the line of energy from up, down to the earth. You can bend the knees. There we
just got my question,
You can always bend the knees. You try and keep your back as straight as possible. Many people cannot basically reach, so they can go as low as they need to.
You know, as comfortable as you feel, that's
really
the main thing.
Really modifying it for everyone's body type and ability.
Great.
So everyone can do it. On your next inhale, you take one leg back, come into high lunge. Many people haven't got strength to do this.
I was about to say, that's not
Take the knee down. Very, very simple. Shoulders back, working the hips. Older people will find this very good for releasing the hips. Opening the hands, taking them shoulder width apart, bringing the right knee off the floor, taking the left leg back into a straight plank pose.
This is almost like press-ups almost.
It's almost like a push-up. It's very, very good for your belly. lengthens and strengthens the backs of the legs. The kneecaps get to work. And your arms, your shoulders get really strong. Then you take the knees down and either come onto your forearms for the less flexible people,
Okay.
or if you have more flexibility, come to your chest, shoulders back, which is very good for your lower back. Sliding onto your belly, pressing the feet into the floor, taking the chest just an inch off the floor. Or, if you are more experienced and more flexible, come into half cobra.
They can really feel the
Remember,
stretch there. You have to be careful, I think.
This is morning, so we don't want to be
Yes.
going all the way into full cobra because we don't want to force anything. We're awakening the body slowly.
Okay.
As you next exhale, begin to curl the toes under, coming up into downward facing dog. It's like an inverted V.
Yes.
Really working your shoulders, spreading the shoulders away from each other, traction in the neck, belly in, lifting the hips high. On your next inhale, you begin to round the spine, take the right foot forward. So we're still working the right side, coming into high lunge, knee over ankle, or take the left knee down and straighten the spine.
Okay.
On your next exhale, lift the left knee off the floor. Take the left foot forward and bow, and again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhaling, coming up, leading with your chest, your forehead, reaching high. Expanding, exhaling, hands to heart. That's one side done.
That would normally take what?
Well, it depends, I suppose, how fast you do them.
Yes.
And this is another beautiful thing about sun salutation. It can be done really slowly, make it a really slow meditation.
It's probably even harder when you do it really slowly, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's working different
Yes.
things, you know, it's increasing stamina.
Yes.
But you can also do it really fast to work up the energy. So really depends what you want. And as you see, there are many different variations of each pose one can do to suit the body type, the injuries, if they're nurturing an injury. You know, it all depends on your teacher and what your teacher is able to help you with.
I think what's really nice, Sangaji, is that it was shown in a way where it's you're not running around, you know. That's what I think is. So you're not running around, but all the major groups of muscles are catered for, you know. And as I say, doing one press up or push up, you know, for many people, you know, they do find that difficult. So just doing this slowly,
Slowly,
really
and just take
difference.
a couple of rounds to start with.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I couldn't finish one.
Yeah.
And you know, we met at a yoga show.
Yes.
And it's not an issue to now join all these special events where you can do many of them, because you're just so conditioned now that your body is able to do it very easily. But the salutation also is excellent for anyone with breathing difficulties. It really tones your lungs, really does.
Okay.
And your thyroid also gets to be regulated. So all the hormones are being regulated. Lymphatic system gets to work, because with lymphs, they usually haven't got a chance to move around. You have to work them by
Exactly.
exercise.
They don't have their own pump, do they? So
it's amazing just how many benefits there are for
Wow.
something as simple as that.
no, we will put that onto the website. I think it's so important, Sangaji. As I say, what's really nice is that it's something which looks really simple, but so effective. You know, Miska, as I say, we're desperately running out of time really quickly, and I cannot thank you enough for showing such amazing exercises, which I think everybody can do.
I hope people
know?
will really benefit from them.
Well, yeah, exactly. Sangaji, please, you know, it'd be so good. I mean, that is the reason, you know, 2012, let's move into this year more healthy, you know.
Leave all the rubbish behind.
Yeah, leave all the rubbish
Start new.
behind, you know. I think what's really nice is that it's not just the physical, it's the emotional side. That, you know, everything, you can really build yourself up internally. It's almost like this is the bridge. You know, we all know what's good for us, but sometimes we don't know how to go about doing it. Sometimes we just need to just come out of our normal sort of everyday doing of things and do things slightly differently, but without, you know, sometimes we like, a lot of people, I know they would have joined a gym this year, and then, you know, after a week, it's like, oh, this is too much. But
Because it's too much pressure on the body, and then you don't want to do it. You go into a response where you don't want to do it anymore. If it's done with you know, slowly,
yes,
and you are honoring the space where you're, without trying to run somewhere where you want to be,
yeah,
you can stay there forever and then enjoy the benefits.
yeah.
But different things for different people. A lot of people love gym, and I think it's brilliant that there are so many around.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, my main thing is something which I really want all the viewers who are watching. It's something that they can do, you know, in the privacy of their own home, something where and they can slowly improve their health, you know, in a nice, controlled manner. And I think, you know, I really love the chair exercises. I think they really do have some kind of benefit, you know, sort of thing.
Especially done regularly. It's all about frequency also. So doing a long class once a month isn't really going to be beneficial long term. So doing,
once a week?
Maybe doing even 10 minutes every day, or at least every other day.
No, that's beautiful. How come time goes so quickly? But any last words you'd like to say?
Oh yes, I've got loads of last words.
I'm sure, yeah.
If you've never done yoga and you want to try it and you're worried about doing it, just go for it.
Okay.
Just go for it, try it, because there is going to be someone out there who is going to give you exactly what you need.
Okay.
Tell your teacher you've never done it before, they'll be really kind. Most yoga teachers are really nice people and really understands where you're coming from when you come to the studios. They'll help you out.
Is it a mixed class? I think a lot of guys are probably, oh no, probably, you know, it's too many women or too many guys.
Not in my classes.
Yeah, so you know,
many classes are mainly men.
So you do get a good mix.
You do. It depends also what it is that you teach. If you have a class that's very strong and physical, you tend to get more men.
Okay.
If it's more meditative, you tend to get more women.
Of course. Okay.
So it doesn't matter what it is. Just try both. Try meditation. Try.
See what actually works for you.
See what works for you. And there is so much out there. Go and pick and choose. If you don't like it, move on to the next one. Try something else. But the diet is important.
Okay.
Relaxing is important, which yoga offers.
Yes.
Also, positive mental attitude is so important. If you keep thinking negatively all the time, nothing is ever going to shift for you. You have got to really stop that. And how to stop that? There is a very simple practice called Pratipaksha Bhavana. And this is just replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. Or not necessarily replacing them, but acknowledging them. So for example, and you can do it every day. You break a plate on the kitchen floor and go, oh my God, I just broke the plate. Oh, never mind, good Lord, I didn't break 12 of them. So there is a positive side to everything.
Okay, so
whichever way you look at it.
Okay.
And just practicing this throughout the day, finding positive in the negative is amazing. It just makes you feel better straight away.
Wow.
So that's very, very good.
Okay, so just seeing it from a different point of view. In a sense, yeah.
So it's not all negative. Everything is neutral anyway. We just make it so whether it's positive or negative.
Yes, and it's all in perspective, isn't it?
It is.
Because sometimes, you know, something happens, we thought, oh no, I can't believe it, whatever. Then you think about it 3 months down the line, and you sort of think, hey, what was I so stressed about that for? Yeah, no, I can totally understand. Yeah. No, Miska, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For coming, you know, into the studio. I've learned so much today, and, you know, I'm sure our viewers have as well, and you know, it would be delightful if, you know, if you come in the near future as well and just show basic exercise. But thank you so much. Sangaji, thank you for watching the It Conscious show. You've been, you know, as I say, I'm going to start doing these exercises slowly, and it's all about the nutrition, positive mental attitude. As I say, 2012, you know, we can all go into it in a nice, positive way. So thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you next time on the It Conscious Show. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
God bless.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Satnam. Ka Khalsa. Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Satnam, and welcome to another show of It Conscious Living. It's the show where we try every week to bring inspirational people, something that we can hopefully all learn from, and, well, make our week a better week. And you know the tradition. Every week I get the guests to introduce themselves. You know, I'll carry on that tradition this week. Why not? So we have Karimleen Kaur. Satnam.
Satnam.
Thank you so much for coming to the It Conscious Living show.
It's my pleasure.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Ireland, and I discovered Kundalini yoga when I came to London.
Wow.
So the way I discovered it, because I was traveling in Latin America, and I've always been kind of interested in this kind of thing and the power of the mind and everything.
Yeah.
And I just kind of came across books and things, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I came to London and I started looking for Kundalini yoga classes.
Okay.
But at that point, I was doing other things, so I was like, I don't really have, it's good, but I don't really have time for that.
I know exactly what that's like, yeah.
I don't have time for that. It's nice, but, you know, I'm doing my other thing.
Yeah.
And then I went along, I had a bit of a crisis point in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I broke my toe. I fell off a curb and broke my toe of my right foot.
Wow, as one does.
Yeah, I wasn't even, you know, I was totally running to catch the bus or anything.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of really got into it and started going to the classes. And
okay,
really
I just got to get that in perspective. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're running, you broke your toe. You thought,
Yes.
great, I'm going to a yoga class.
well, no,
That sounds a bit simplistic, I know.
yeah. Well, it kind of stopped me from doing, because I was doing other kind of physical activities.
Yeah.
And because I had the broken toe, I couldn't do that. So I was like, well, maybe I'll do a bit of yoga, because you can do yoga. It's a bit more gentle.
I know exactly.
It's a
what
bit
you
more
mean.
sitting
I was just
down
kidding with you. I know. Okay. Now that's brilliant, actually. I mean, you know, there are so many different types of yogas,
Yes.
and you know, I love all different types. Kundalini has yoga. I mean, is that something that has sort of bonded or gelled with you in particular?
Yes, I've tried other types of yoga, and
Yeah.
I think they're all great, and people should
Exactly.
try all
Yes.
types of yoga.
Yeah.
I've tried Hatha yoga, Ashtanga yoga, but
I love
for
that
me,
for the postures
yeah,
and everything.
No, it's great. But Kundalini yoga, for me, it has that connection. And for the first time, well, when I went to a class after I was ready, because you need to be ready for Kundalini yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I was like, wow, this is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
all these sensations in your body, in your spine.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you go to the class all stressed out, angry. And
know
then
what you
you
mean,
walk out and you feel like you're floating.
Yeah.
So I knew, and then I knew it was really powerful. And I knew, God, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while I'd been doing it, I was like, I have to learn, I have to teach this. This is so amazing.
Wow, so you felt that sort of connection. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to take this further.
Definitely.
Wow, okay. So going back a few years, just a bit about yourself generally. I mean, tell us a bit about yourself, really, you know, up
Okay.
to the point.
Well, I've